Who were the biggest players in getting Donald Trump elected President of the United States? Was it the massive amount of people that went to Trump rallies to embrace the American First message? Was it Trump's team of campaign managers that directed the now president-elect in his quest for the Oval Office? Or was it Donald Trump himself who stopped at no cost of reputation to avoid political correctness and his well-being? Certainly, all of the above were a big part in the election win for the Trump-Pence team. But as crazy as it sounds, it may have been Hillary Clinton who elected Donald Trump. A Hillary Clinton conspiracy to manipulate the Republican presidential field that completely crashed and burned may have been the largest factor in the rise and win of the MAGA. I'm sure you were paying attention to the Podesta email dumps by WikiLeaks, but with all the smoke in the air, you may have missed it. As former chairman of Princeton Economics Martin Armstrong notes, WikiLeaks emails from Clinton campaign chairman John Podesta show that Clinton colluded with the DNC and the mainstream media to raise what they thought would be the extreme right among Republicans to put Hillary in the middle of the road in order to hide her agenda. Clinton was calling it her Pied Piper strategy that would intentionally cultivate extreme right-wing presidential candidates and that would turn Republicans away from more moderate candidates in the party. This foolish strategy enlisted the mainstream media, who turned its focus on Trump and raised him above the other candidates, thinking it would be beneficial to Hillary. On April 23, 2015, Clinton's staff sent out a memo discussing strategy to manipulate Republicans into selecting what they thought would be the worst candidate. The memo discusses using the large field of diverse candidates in the Republican Party against themselves. The memo reads, "In this scenario, we don't want to marginalize the more extreme candidates, but make them more Pied Piper candidates who actually represent the mainstream of the Republican Party." Among the 3 Pied Piper candidates listed, you guessed it, Donald Trump. Here lies the real conspiracy. It was Hillary Clinton manipulating the Republicans. The memo goes on. Clearly, most of what is contained in this memo is work the DNC is already doing. This exercise is intended to put those ideas on paper. Our hope is that the goal of a potential HRC campaign and the DNC would be one and the same, to make whomever the Republicans nominate unpalatable to a majority of the electorate. Clinton saw the Republican field as crowded, and she viewed that as positive for her. Many of the lesser-known candidates can serve as a cudgel to move the more established candidates further to the right, the memo reads. Clinton called for forcing all Republican candidates to lock themselves into extreme, conservative positions that would hurt them in a general election. It was also insisted that Trump should be elevated to leader of the pack and that media outlets should be told to take him seriously. While recklessly pushing the idea that it was Vladimir Putin rigging the 2016 presidential election,
but Putin is playing a really tough, long game here.
It was Hillary herself conspiring with the mainstream media to elevate Trump and then tear him down. Perhaps the DNC thought Trump's character could easily be assassinated and decided to ignore the Make America Great Again anti-globalism message that was bound to catch the populist wave currently steamrolling the Western world. Crooked Hillary was just way too crooked for a fair election. And how laughable was it when the mainstream media questioned how they got the election results wrong? They're the ones who gave rise to Trump and then pushed Hillary's awful agenda and expected the public to eat it up. Hillary was such a bad candidate that no amount of burning of Trump at the stake by the mainstream media could have stopped him from winning. You picked the wrong Republican candidate, Hillary. Now what are we left with? The results of the divisive agenda of the DNC, Clinton campaign, and the mainstream media. Although you screwed Bernie, your mission to push Trump to the front of the pack totally backfired. I'll let Martin Armstrong wrap this up for us. Armstrong writes, "What is very clear, putting all the WikiLeaks emails together, the rise of Donald Trump was orchestrated by Hillary herself conspiring with the mainstream media, and then they sought to burn him to the ground. Their strategy backfired, and now this is why she has not come out to speak against the violence she has manipulated and inspired. This is by far the worst campaign in history, and it was all orchestrated by Hillary to be intentionally divisive for the nation, all to win the presidency at all cost. She has torched the Constitution and the country.
No wonder Hillary could not go to the stage to thank her supporters. She never counted on them and saw the people as fools. The entire strategy was to take the White House with the manipulation of the entire election process. Just unbelievable. Any Democrat who is not angry at this is clearly just a biased fool. Wake up and smell the roses. You just got what you deserve.